What's going on, everybody? What is happening? I think we're about ready. Yep. And I may bring that music down a little bit more. Oh, you know what? I forgot I gotta do this. I gotta do that. For some reason, when I minimize FS17, like a lot of other games, you can tab out of them, but they're still sort of up. But I noticed with FS17, if it is minimized, it just goes to a black screen and XSplit. Oh well. And let me know, once we get rolling, let me know how the music is. I try to fade it down, I don't know, to a reasonable amount. But I still want to be able to hear it. All right, so what is going on? It is the morning of the third day. There goes my voice. I made it about a minute. Oh, voice. All right, so it is the third day of spring, so this is now the second third of our first season. Does that make sense? Because seasons breaks everything into thirds. So if we go here, first off, let's see how our grass is doing. We're over here on the east side of the map, sort of southeast, east central. Field 95 is grass. Did it grow? Did it grow? It did, and it's ready to be harvested. I think it can be fertilized, can it not? I think we can spray another load of fert on there. Will it take it? Oh, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. I hate to waste it. Yeah, I think it will. Maybe. All right, so that is what's going on now. Field 95, we got it plowed. I'm sorry, field 100, we got it plowed. Oh, no worries, Ernie. No problem at all. Field 100 down here, we did hit it with the Cultiplow, and then we got 2 layers of fert on it. So, I missed a couple spots. I tried to do it first person. That didn't work out so well. But we have second coat of fert on here, so I think we can get this seeded now. I think that's the next thing we have to do. If we try to do anything else with it, then it won't take any. Like if we try to put another layer of fert on it now, it won't take it. So I think the next thing we can do with this is seed that field. What else is going on? We're broke. We're gonna have to borrow another $5,000 just to get out of debt. But I also noticed in the animals, our cows are already making milk, almost 4,000 liters of milk. So Owen, if you are in the chat, you were right, my friend, and I was wrong. In 17, with seasons, the cows start making milk straight away. I think they won't reproduce until next spring. I don't know. It's a little different. And also, I think the cat's name was Merton. Last stream, or maybe our first stream, he was telling me about the way Bullet Bill has the animals set up. He said if you unload at the barn from the trailer, then load back into the trailer, then unload again, it will sort out this 80% health thing. Seemed like that didn't help. And the other possibility is we just need to get some wheat or barley or oat in there. I don't know. They're at 80%. They are making milk, so we're going to try to get them topped off. Now we're feeding them with TMR that we're buying, and it is costing us a lot of money. 4,000 liters of milk. We go back here, right, to our prices. We go over here. There's no price for milk. So I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to accelerate time, confirm that I'm out of the vehicle, and the engine is not running. Reproduction starts the following season. Yeah, I think there's a standard for it based on the base seasons geomod, the one that comes with seasons. And then I think modders can alter that. They can edit that within geomods, I think. So I'm going to accelerate time to 2:40 and get it to 8 a.m. so that the store's open. Now, I know on this map previously you could sell milk anytime you wanted. We'll slow this back down again. We're going to leave it on 5. You could sell milk anytime. The door would be closed, but you could still sell. So what I want to do is I want to wait till 8 a.m. and see if this door opens, when this door opens. Hang on, I got to take this off. If and when this door opens, if we get a price for milk. If we do not get a price for milk in the menu, I'm going to assume that we can sell milk here. So that does open. Let's wait for the animation to finish. And we'll go back and take a look and see if we now have a price for milk. And we do not. So I assume we can sell milk right now as we could before, but there is no price for it. So the first thing we want to do, I think, is sell that milk. And I'll tell you why. And this has a little bit to do with fertilizing field 9.5. Fire it up. Break this off. Here we go. Now, is there anything we can take back with us? Yeah, because, well, when we come back down here, yeah, let's do that. Let's save a trip. Let's get our drill now, take it to the farm, we'll drop it, and then we will, looking for traffic. There's the traffic over here. let's pick up our little drill now. We'll take it to the farm. We'll drop it. And then when we come back here to sell milk, right, we won't have to come back a second time to pick up. Oh, and I left those pallet forks down here. Oh, sloppy farming. Sloppy farming. You see what I'm getting at. We're already down here, so let's pick up the drill now. Because if we drive back to the farm... Hey, Fried. How you doing? If we drive back to the farm, hook up to the tanker, fill it with milk, bring it back down here and sell it, we have to take the tanker back to the farm anyway. And then we would need to... Basically, we'd be deadheading 2 times. Deadhead to the farm once, do the milk run, and then deadhead to the store a second time to pick up the drill. So that's no good. Let's try to be efficient. We want sewing machines. I think, this is 3 meter, but it's very affordable. We could go with this thing. We've got the horsepower for it, and it does inject fert, but I don't think it will take fert. I don't think that field will take fert because we just fertilized it after we hit it with the cultiplow, so I think that may be unnecessary. Same with this one. Well, no cereal crops from that one. And anything in, that's the coon pack. That's 3 meter as well. We could do this one. We use this a lot. 2-piece. And that's 4 meter. Slightly bigger tank. We may do that. Started a new map for 19. What map did you start on? Okay. No, that one. That's Modern Classics. We could definitely move that one. And then the Lemkin is 200 horsepower. We don't have that kind of horsepower. I think this may be our way to go right here. But I don't know what we're going to do about our weight. Because we do have a weight on the front. You know what? There's no need to be fancy. Let's just go with this thing. 750. Let's go with this thing. It's got a bigger tank. Map is called MVP. It's a big 4X map with big fields. All right, on. I get the feeling that you prefer bigger maps. That seems like your thing. So we're going to, we need to lease this, right? And we're going to buy, if we go to our big bags, I think, because if we go here, 900 for 1,000. 1,000 for 900. All right, that's still good. And if we go here, 1,200 for 1,400. That could be it. Or this one. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I think this is the best value here. All right. And we are going to do. We're going to do a quick load. We're not going to use the. Well, we don't have a front load, and I'm not driving back to the farm to get one. And even if we did, we'd have to lease a weight to be able to lift that great big bag. So we'll just do it slightly less than realistic. So over here. So get that hooked up, fill it. We're not going to add fertilizer, and then we'll be on our way. Interesting. At the moment, I have 19 uninstalled. I need to do a clean reinstall of it, but I've been going through and really. Okay. Now that says 881. Kind of kicking myself. We did not get the little Cavernaland grain seeder because I thought this had a 1,400 liter tank, but it's only got 881. So I think that 1,400 is combined seed and fertilizer. Okay, well, you know what, live and learn. But I do want to check those mods out. I've been I uninstalled, well, I deleted my Epic Game Store account and I uninstalled, got rid of that. So obviously I had to uninstall SnowRunner, and I've uninstalled quite a few games. I feel like I'm running out of hard drive space, which is astounding to me because my hard drives are ridiculous. But I think it's, I don't know, end of the year, a little bit of housekeeping. Just get rid of things I'm not using. Clean things up a little bit. So at the moment I have 19 uninstalled because without Purbeck, I don't really have a map to play. And when I think about the Western Shore, and I hope every episode I don't just go on and on about this map, but when I think about the Western Shore, what I feel is if a simulator dropped, right? If we had no idea that there was something called Farm Sim, and a farm simulator dropped that was called the Western Shore, and it was just this one map, right? And there were no mods. It was just this one map with base game equipment. I don't know how long it would take to get sick of this map in base game. And I look at base game maps and I think, well, yeah, I mean, we're sort of we're spoiled by mod maps. But if there was a farming simulator that was just this, you know, like a racing simulator that had one track. If it was a track like Spa or Le Mans, I don't know, maybe that would be enough, because they're sort of so amazing, so good. So with something like Purbeck, I feel like until there's another map that sort of catches my eye the way that Purbeck did, I think I may leave 19 installed. I'll still check the mod hub periodically to see if one pops up, but this map, Western Shore, for both 17 and 19, I know it's not available on 19, but I feel like for both 17 and 19, it has really sort of redefined expectations as far as what a map can be. And what was, is it Hofbergman? I think it may be Hofbergman. There's a German map. It's the most heavily scripted map I've ever seen. It's the one where you have to empty out the septic tanks in town and pick up garbage. I think it's Hofbergman. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that map, as this map is to a UK style map, I feel like Hofbergman is to the German style map. It's just absolutely dripping with scripts. There's so many things to do on that map other than straight farming. And I feel like it's, I mean, visually it's not maybe as impressive as this map, but in terms of like the complexity of it, or in terms of like being an example of what that kind of map is, right? Like what a German map is, I feel like that is the best example. So if something like that dropped for 19, and Hofbergman may be available for 19, well, that would be interesting. Go in a completely different direction, and it would give us an excuse to use a lot of the German equipment that we never use, right? As we stay on these UK style maps. Pro Gamer 2018. I was hoping you would show up. Are you Chazzy Senpai in my Discord? Let's find a place to drop this thing. No? Okay. I gotta figure out who that is, because their status message is completely inappropriate, and I didn't want to just ban them straight away, but it is just about worth being banned. That's not how we do things. All right, and did I leave that open? I guess I did. Been playing on the northern coast on 19. Yeah, I feel you, Ernie. Expectations are high. I can. I mean, they link to your YouTube page. Ban them? No. Okay. Well, I'd like to speak to them first. I could DM them. For some reason, I thought it was you because they do link to your page. Interesting. Okay. Milk tank. Milk tank, milk tanker. Oh, I do like the sound on this tractor. And what's funny is I did it. I dropped in the sound files, but I have no idea how I did it. I don't know where I found them. It's a bit of a mystery, but very happy with this tractor. All right, so we're going over here. Well, I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I want to find out what's going on first. And it could be that is exactly the outcome, but let's just... and let me see, this is the refill point. I think we'll get a hose here. this. We got to drop that, do that. We got to hook that up, and then we do this. There we go. There's the milk. So we'll take this down. I don't know what we're going to get for this. I hope we get 4 or 5 grand. That would be super cool. Because that would cover our interest daily for our loan. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think it's an amazing map. That would cover our interest daily. And I think it may cover things like carefully. I think that may cover our animal upkeep. Maybe. I don't know. Hop back in here. Basically, we're just trying to keep our head above water until we sell. What do you want to plant? Canola? Maybe. Plant some canola, and if we could get 50 or 60 grand, oh, that would be perfect. I feel like at that point we would have. Maybe we would have paid for what it costs to get the crops in the ground and back out, right? So that would cover the cost of leasing. We have to lease a combine harvester. We had to lease this drill. As soon as we sell this milk, if we get this field planted, we're going to lease fertilizer, a spreader, and we're going to get that other field taken care of. So I'm trying to do like 6 things at once. And we have to lease mowers, and we have to figure out what we're going to do with that grass once we mow it. So if we can get 50 or 60 grand for that canola, that would be fantastic. Potatoes do make good money. They really do. The problem is I just really don't like potatoes. I really don't, because you're either using very small equipment that would be appropriate on this map, and it takes absolutely forever, or you have to use like the Grima, which is outrageously expensive to lease, and I feel like it really wouldn't belong on this map, although maybe it would. Maybe it would. This map is not as tight as some UK style maps. The lanes are tight, but the other roads are bigger, and the fields certainly are bigger. So it's not like Knaveswell or Purbeck, right? That is extremely tight. Or even something like Coldborough Park going out to the pigs. You know, that super tight road, super tight lane. Right through here. Beautiful. So I think for that reason, I just don't like potatoes. And I've tried to do potatoes like on German maps, right? And on Lone Oak, I tried to do potatoes, and it just turns into a grind, right? Big potato fields. Because even with the Grima, it's still slow going. And it seems like it just takes forever. And yeah, it was on Lone Oak because I used the Ropa Pack DLC, and I thought that would be fun. And after several hours of that, no more potatoes. But yeah, the idea of doing potatoes on a small map like this with the rooster, I think we would need to use. Or the trailed offset Ropa. That's pretty slow going. I think that's like 1 meter, 2 meters or something. Just a couple rows wide. Sugar beets more than potatoes. Money's about the same for those, is it not? Now I noticed when I was looking in the food on this map, I noticed that we can feed the cows sugar beets now. That's new. I think that's new. Seems new. All right. Go third person here. And then right back here. And we will get the hose. Now this hose is... Oh, this is separate than the hose add-on. It is not. Can't remember. All right, so we do this. There we go. Oh, hope we make some money. So we had, call it 4,000 liters, just to keep the math simple, and then we can sort of step that backwards and figure out what we're getting per 1,000 liters. We're getting some money. We are getting some money. What do we get? 3,000, so about 750 per 1,000. I mean, it's not great, but we had, I want to say, probably half a day's of productivity. So if we extend that out, that would be about 6,000 a day. Yeah, I mean, that'll keep us out of trouble, right? I think we'll be able to keep the cows fed, and I think we'll be able to keep the interest paid on the loan. And I'm going to fill up with water now. I try to make it a habit on this map because it is kind of on the big side. I try to make it a habit of anytime we're in town, anytime we can save a trip, I try to. I forget sometimes, but when at all possible. All right, so we'll go back here and get this filled up, and then we'll head back. And I guess, right there, I guess we're going to, I don't know. I guess we're just going to seed canola and see how quickly that goes. I'll put it on course play, but there's really nothing else for us to do. We don't have enough money to lease another tractor. And I don't want to bump the loan to lease a tractor to fertilize field 9.5. And also I noticed with the Cultiplow, I was only able to go downhill in field 100. Could not go back uphill. So if the hired worker on course play is having the same problem in field 100, we'll have to take it off course play and do that field manually and just deadhead back up to the top every time. And then and make our passes downhill. And the thing that's great about bullet bill maps, and the first time I noticed this was, I want to say field 9? Maybe field 9 on Coldborough Park. Or the other one, the big one, that from the main farm, it's the big sort of curved field that has the second gate out to where the BGA, bottom of the hill. You know the one I mean. That field it has such a compound curve to it that there is no good length, right? Like if you've got a steep field, the field is steep and narrow, you can go side hill and make a lot of turns. But I feel like with bullet bill maps, the way he wraps his field around the terrain, there is no side hill, right? Because what would be side hill on one part of the field, careful. What would be side hill on one part of the field is up and down on another part. You can't beat it. You're chasing the dragon. You can't beat it. So it's possible that course play will not be happy on that field, and it's possible that even if we do it manually, if we start doing lengths one way, so we're going downhill, by the time we move across the field, those won't be downhill anymore. So we'll see. It's a brain teaser, man. It's like a big puzzle to solve. How do you do that? How does a map maker do that? Look at something like Giants Editor and be able to visualize, you know, if I did it this way, that would be an impossible problem. That would be a conundrum. It's amazing. I love it. Modders are so cool. I appreciate them. All right, so we'll unload this. Let's do what we did before. We'll try to unload a little bit into the trough just to keep that topped off, and then we'll put the rest in the tank on the other side. And we'll drop this and pick up our cedar. You know what? We'll do one more thing before we do that. I am going to do one more thing. Let's lease a broadcast spreader. Go down and pick up a broadcast spreader. We'll bring it back, and we'll see if Field 9.5 will take fertilizer. I think it's not fully grown yet, and so it will. And if it doesn't, we'll just keep the broadcast spreader. We'll keep what's in it, and we'll use that as our next layer of fert on Field 100. I'm trying to avoid beginning Field 100 with the cedar, because I know once we do, that'll be all we're doing for the rest of the episodes. We're trying to mix it up a little bit before we get to that point. Trying to keep things interesting. Yeah, sunflowers are good money. They are. You know what I do? I do this every year. I try to get a crop in the ground as soon as possible so I can get it out of the ground as soon as possible, because we need money. And I forget that if we just waited, we might be able to get more money for soybeans or sunflowers later in the season. We would just need to skip a few days. But yeah, you're right. Sunflowers are good money. They're nice to look at, too. I don't plant sunflowers enough. Maybe we'll make an effort to do that this year. And they are, what is it? Heliocentric? Is that a real word? Did I just make that up? They're heliocentric. They use the same script as the solar panels. They turn to face the sun during the day. It's a nice little detail. All right, and I think this thing is, if we go in here and then sort of back out, we can back all the way up and around. Is that right? So we'll go through here and around. Or can we go... can't remember now. Can we go in and turn once we get back here? Can't remember if there's enough room to turn or if we have to back in. I mean, I know we have to back in, but I can't remember if there's enough room to turn. Now I can't even see it. Oh, there it is right there. So, wait a minute. Stand by. Is this gate supposed to be closed? Did I leave this open? Oh, no. Well, fortunately, our cows all have Stockholm Syndrome and they don't try to escape. We treat them very, very well. So they just, they stick around. They don't even think about leaving. Oh, my goodness. Bad farming. Bad farming. All right, hang on. Set the break here. Take care of this before we do anything. There we are. And, let's take a look at one more thing before we unload that water. This is a bullet bill map, so we're going to have to scrape our own poo. Mainly ground cover? Okay, so is there any money in them at all? Or is it strictly just a cover crop? Are we looking? Yep. Bullet bill map, so we'll have to muck out manually. So that, glad I thought of that, because we can, we're going to leave our pallet forks down there a little longer. We will take the front loader down with nothing on it, and we'll get a bucket while we're down there. Okay, so that's our next plan. We'll head down there and lease the broadcast spreader. We'll buy a bucket. Cover crop, man. If that mechanic is introduced, so we have it in, where is it? It is it's here. We have that here now. No, we don't. That's only in 19 in seasons. The rotation, where you get the buff and the bonus if you rotate. But we don't have that in 17. I would love to see that in base game. And I suppose seasons is base game at this point. If you want it, you know, it's there. Hang on. There we go. So seasons is, I don't know, it's not quite base game, but it's close. But the more complex that mechanic becomes, the happier I am. And I think crop rotation is definitely key to get to a point where, so how do I want to do this? So I want to unhook, go back to forward, reconnect. I know it's a little pain in the ass step that I have to take. And then we're going to some our trough here. There we are. All right, and then back out here. To get to a point where it is it makes more financial sense, more economic sense to put in a cover crop and leave a field for one season to recover than it does to put a crop in it and harvest it for money. And to be able to calculate that, I think would be, I would love that level of complexity. Still curious if precision farming will ever make its way to 17. I agree it would need to be rewritten. It's not as simple as just kind of porting it over. I think there'd need to be a lot of editing, but I'm curious if somebody does bring it over. We had the soil mod in 15. And if anything, I found the soil mod to be a little bit over the top. but I love the idea of it. So we want to go up here now, up the lane, and then back in. Where's that tank? Can't see it from here. So if we go around the back, is it right there? Hang on. Stop right here. Let's just stop right here. There it is right there. Okay. So yeah, we can pull forward and back up to that. Hopefully. Right there. And there. And there. I think this is the, I don't know, I wouldn't call it the most ambitious start, but I feel like this is really, we're really making this as difficult as possible for ourselves. And in fairness, I think Bullet Bill kind of helped make it hard for us by starting the map with no equipment and very little money. All right, so we don't want to refill the Universal Mini. We want to storage mode load. So if we go here, no, other way. So then it's left shift R. There we go. Yep, it's filling. Okay, perfect. So we'll drop this, we'll drop the weight, we'll pick up the front loader only, head down to the store, get a broadcast spreader, put some fert in it, come back and see if we can do field 9.5. That works out. And as far as field 100, we'll just see how it goes. Before we're done. Okay, so no hose there. All right, just parked up. It's really nice to be back on this map. It was nice to take a break from it. It was getting a bit grindy. And I think it's not the map's fault, certainly. It's just some big fields, and we owned a lot of them at the end of that save game. Curious what this map would be like on MP. I think the farms are so far apart and they're all so different. I think you could definitely, I don't know, you could help your neighbors out. But I think you could easily play this map and stay on your own farm and really never see anybody else working, unless you were working on a project together or something. But it's big enough that you have a little privacy. All right, so we'll pick this up. So lift that up a little bit. First person. Let's get out of here. And just out of curiosity, does Bank of Hagenstadt allow MP players to trade with one another? I don't recall if it does or not. Yeah, I think it would, Jeff. It's so big and there's so much going on. I think it would be amazing. I was asking about Bank of Hagenstadt because I don't know if it's ever been possible for MP players to trade with each other. I know there's a way to do it where it's just sort of a, I don't know, kind of a handshake thing. I give you this, you give me that, and you edit the XML file. But I feel like not quite competitive, you know what I mean? But if you, I don't know, if you have a big dairy and you've got a lot of manure, that you could sell manure directly to another player, right? Because we do sell things on these maps. We sell straw bales, we sell hay bales, we sell silage, you can sell manure if you've got the mod. So who's buying it, you know? And in an SP game, it's just the game buying, it's the AI, whatever. But in an MP game, I think it'd be fantastic if you could sell to other players, set prices, you know? So again, not competitive, but if you know you're the person you're playing with, if you know they really need manure, maybe you bump the price up a little bit, you know? Do what you got to do in this life. Carefully through there. And I think 5x time, I think that's going to be about right. I think 3 is a little slow, 15 is a little fast, but 5x. Just right. Whoa, carefully. Man, the body roll. the body roll and suspension flex on these tractors with more realistic is increased, to say the least. All right, carefully through here. And we'll need to come back down at least once, or at least twice, because we'll have to drop off both the. I mean, I guess we could put the broadcast spreader on the front empty, and the seeder on the back, and just make one trip down. But we still need to get those pallet forks. So what we'll probably do is bring the seeder down as soon as we're done with it, because we won't need it again this year. And we'll bring the front loader down empty again, pick up those pallet forks. All right. Let's see how this goes. So first thing we need is a bucket for mucking out, and that is right here. I think we can just go with this one. That'll do for now. So there's that. And there's the other thing we needed. We need a spreader. So this is going to be a lot less to rent. It's smaller. Wow, it's smaller. This is 3,200. This is 700. This is 500 to lease. 2,000. I think per field we're going between 700 and 1,000 liters. We may have to refill this, but it's a quarter the price. And money is, we don't have a lot of money. In fact, this is 2,000 to rent it. I don't think we'd have anything left to buy fertilizer. We'd have to bump our loan again. All right, lease that. And then we need 1 pallet of this. Solid fert. Okay. We're down to 300 pounds again. Ugh. Always broke in this game. Always broke. This time, for once, it's not my fault. So let's get this picked up. So there's that. And that. And that. Okay. This may also work out because we don't have the front weight on. If we had gone with the big coon at what, like 4 times the volume, might have been a little rough getting back to the farm, keeping the front wheels down. So let's say this worked out. All right, 363 pounds. If we have to, we can sell milk again this evening, so we don't go completely broke. And I think at some point, I mean, we're not tabbing, but I think at some point I could set up horseplay courses from the store to the farm, and from the farm to the store. That would at least speed things up a little bit off camera. And I think, yeah, we did have those for Bramble Lane, or we did not. I can't remember. I think maybe we did. Yeah, because I looped out all the way to the east. Since Bramble Lane is one way, we had to go out all the way to the east. So courseplay was not getting caught on opposing traffic. Yeah, I think we did. So I may do that for this as well. Just to kind of automate things a little bit. A lot of driving on this map, but for some reason it's not disagreeable. You know, there's some maps where you feel like all you do is drive. It's a lot of driving on this map, but it's, I don't know, I feel like it's blended into the rest of the map really well. $240-acre field without workers. Oh. Do you have courseplay at least carting for you? Or are you doing everything yourself? That's madness. Everything yourself. Oh. There was an Oklahoma map for 17, I want to say. Just great big square fields on a completely flat card. It wasn't a very good map, but great big square fields, straight roads, all 90-degree turns. There was a massive cattle facility in the center of the map. But I planted a field with wheat and was harvesting it, and it was two of the big New Holland tract harvesters, one on each side of the field, with either the 48 or 60 foot headers on them, the biggest ones available. And I had 2 chaser bins going that were like 80,000 liters apiece. Those were on courseplay, and then I had tandem trucks, several of those carting. I had courseplay set up so there was a drop-off point. I'm going to try to be smart here for once. I'm going to drop that because I'm feeling like the weight of the front loader is just enough to offset the weight of that spreader on the back. So let's do it this way. Let's get all this, all right? Then we'll pick up our weight, save game, and then we'll go pick that spreader up again. So everything was working on courseplay. You know what? It was probably 15 because I feel like courseplay worked better in 15 than it did in 17. But I did have the chaser bins going to a hold point, and then the tandem trucks pulling up sort of underneath them, loading up, and when they got to a certain point, they'd take off. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was different. It was more of, I almost want to say it was more of like a technical achievement than farming, right? Because I was just kind of watching. I wasn't really farming, but it was cool to see. So there'd be 2 combine harvesters, 2 tractors with chaser bins, and call it, I don't know, 3 tractor trailers. So it's 7 vehicles all just sort of moving around doing their thing. It was cool to see. It's not how I farm now, but at the time I was very happy with myself. All right, so first thing we want to see is, do we crush any grass as we drive across it? And we do not. Yeah, so I think we can. In fact, we can test it right now. Yep, we can fertilize this. So let's fertilize this field. Yeah, I think I'm being smart right now, because once we start seeding, it's just going to be, who knows how long it'll take. Hopefully less than an hour. We'll get some other things done before we start seeding. And we may be able to get this field done with what's in the spreader. We may not. If we run out, we'll just go refill. What else can we do? And I am going to go third person. The alternatives are, we could use GPS, or we could do it in cab and have it be a little bit sloppy. Courseplay is for maize silage. I've seen people do amazing things with it. I've seen people they've had carts pulling into a pit, unloading, like backing into a pit, unloading and pulling out. And there's another tractor that's clamping that pulls out and waits for them. I can't do that. I've never been able to make horseplay do that. It's got amazing features, but I have not made the most of it, not had good luck with it. Do I use Proceed? I do. I just saw that it was added to FS17. I used it there for Purbeck Valley, but I prefer Proceed. I love tramlines. So we'll turn this on, and we'll get this going. Oh, you know what? I noticed we've been getting a lot of momentum heading down the hills. I wonder if I need to bump up my compression braking in... I was thinking of 19. I was thinking of VCA, where you can dial in your own engine braking, your own compression braking. As you'll notice, our cruise control is set to 10. When we start down this field, we will be at 18 or 20 by the bottom of the field. In fairness, these fields are massive and steep. Taro, what's happening? Yeah, there it goes. Not sure why it's doing that. I feel like we just got no compression in the motor at all. All right. One thing I noticed is we barely used any of our fertilizer. I feel like we were using a lot more with the coon spreader. This one's narrower, but still. So what I may do, yeah, I think this thing can make it back up the hill with PTO power. Yeah, of course, Fry. Yep, I appreciate you asking, but you're more than welcome to do that. Let's do another length like this, and then we'll cut across the bottom so we have a place to turn, and we'll just go up and down the field until it's done. I think we've got enough horsepower to get back up the field. Slow down a little bit here. I mean, the only way I know to hold our speed down the hill is by tapping the brakes, so we, sort of, I don't know, our speed is not steady like I'd like it to be, but oh well. Yeah, it's I don't know, this internet thing, streaming, it's, when I get up in the morning, when I start working, like when I'm doing work, I've got a stream in the background of somebody gaming. And then when I'm done working, I fire up my stream and start gaming. It's different. It's definitely different, but no, I can't get enough of it. It's amazing to me that games... you know what? Let's test this right now. Let's see if we can make it up the field. It's amazing to me that watching a gamer on stream and watching their play style and watching what they do and learning from them and chatting with them is more entertaining to me than most Netflix or Hulu. And there's a few things. And certainly, on a Friday night, like on date night, we're not going to curl up on the couch and watch a streamer. Although I'm sure some couples do. That's what you're into. But I find streamers to be a lot more entertaining than most broadcast streaming, as far as things like Netflix. And they're, not, well, I guess some of them are professionals, but you know what I mean. It's not, a multi-million-dollar, like a movie or a TV show or something. It's just a person who's doing something well. And I find it to be extremely entertaining compared to a lot of what's out there. That's a little better. But it feels like if we go below a certain point, then it just absolutely drops off. I don't know what's going on more realistic. I love it. I don't play without it, but sometimes I don't understand it. Come on. There you go. All right. Back up the hill will be fine. Excited for that. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I'm learning things. I don't really learn anything when I watch Netflix. But I figured out how to play Hunter Call of the Wild by watching Flinter. I sort of had no idea what I was doing. I wouldn't say I was wasting time, but I was just doing it all wrong. So when that happens, like when you modify a tractor or do something to a tractor, is it essentially respawning the entire tractor? Is that why that happens? I don't understand it. Tomix, what's happening? How's your day going? I feel like it spawns it onto the map like completely new, as a new configuration. And it does that thing. You can see it in a lot of games where as you get close to a vehicle and it transitions over from being just a static scenery item to being an actual 3D item with physics. As you get close to it, you'll see it sort of drop and settle a little bit. Yep, I noticed that a lot in SnowRunner as you're getting close to things. And they sort of become real for back of a letter word. Oh, is it Friday? Lack of a better word. Sound it out, son. As they sort of settle, you can see everything kind of moving around you as you get close to a yard or something. Or the fences that would like randomly fly apart as you got close to them. We're about half on volume. We may finish this field, we may not. I thought initially when we made that headland pass that we would have more than enough, but it's a lot narrower spread. So we're making a lot more lengths. No matter. If we use all this, we'll just go get more. But this does mean we're going to get a better yield from this first cut. Go. And hopefully that helps with our money problems. Can't quite see over there how many more passes we have. I don't think too many. 3 or 4, maybe. So we already paid the rental on this once. So let's hang on to it. After we're done here, we'll put a third layer of fert on field 100. And we do have... Yep, we do have a shop here. I figured out how to use the shop as well. The lighted icon is... I don't know. It's in a place where it would sort of be impossible to get a tractor in there, and for some reason I was thinking you had to have the tractor next to the icon. But you pull the tractor into the stall under the engine crane, and then get out and walk over to the icon. That's where you do your repairs. So we can put row crop tires on this thing, just to be legit when we put the next layer of fert on field 100. 200 liters, will we make it? I think we will. It's going to be close. And if we have just a little bit left over, we can always touch that up manually, because we'll have the rest of the day today, and then all of tomorrow before this grows again. Interactive online shop, like buy and sell used vehicles. I figure anything that you buy and sell in the game, in MP, you should be able to buy and sell that item between players. Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. I think there should be a used market for starting a new farm. Used market for equipment that has it's got reduced power and it's got a limited lifespan, but a tractor that you could buy for 10 or 12,000 pounds. It's not going to last you, and it's not going to perform well, but it's a tenth the price of a new one. Just something to get you started with. Because I find most maps, I sell everything immediately, just because I like my own equipment. And we've all got our personal favorite mod tractors. Oh, there is. Interesting. All right. 100 liters. Are we going to make it? I think we are. I'm going to need to drink some water here, too. Oh, there it goes completely. There it goes. Come on, boys. Stay with me. So I had an interesting interaction with Razor customer service today. When I was doing research on Synapse yesterday, if you're a big Razor fan, I'm fixing to throw some shade on Razor. So just cover your ears. When I was doing research on Razor Synapse, I mean, it's a huge program. It's like 500 meg, and it runs like 8 processes, 9 processes. And people at Reddit are like, are you kidding me? All that to swap out the colored lights on my mouse? What's that all about? Well, it does bring in some sound features for the Kraken headset. It brings in surround sound and various other things. But it does it in a super, super invasive way. And it's constantly updating. Hang on, let me read the chat. Yeah, you know, Taro, I really don't know what to do with irregularly shaped fields, because I feel like with irregularly shaped fields, you're either going to have overlap or underlap, right? If you try to get all the corners, then you're going to have either missing triangles in the center or you're going to have overlap in the center. But like, I don't know what real farmers do in real life with irregular fields. I mean, I know you can get broadcast spreaders that have like little flaps and baffles that like drop down and block the spread in various directions, so you can't have like a half row cutoff. But I haven't figured out a fix for it. I mean, I know I'm cheesing a little bit, but what I always try to avoid is just painting fields, you know, just slathering on fertilizer till every possible corner of the field is covered and pay no attention to how much I'm overlapping. Something that I really like about cattle and crops is if you overlap, you overlap. Your field turns bright red in those areas. So I try not to abuse it, but at the same time, you know, I don't get too hung up on it. I figure it's, at the moment, part of the game mechanics, so I just play it the way they designed it. But yeah, I agree with you. Razor Synapse, right? So it's constantly updating. It updates 2 or 3 times a month, 4 times a month, and every time it does, it rewrites all my sound devices, because it has 3 or 4 of its own sound devices it creates, and that screws up everything, right? Like the next time you use Discord, you don't have speakers or a microphone selected. The next time you go into F1 2020. So every time Synapse updates, I have to go into, seriously, like 8 different apps and manually plug in whatever the new audio device that it created was. What are we doing? We're drilling. Do we want to do this? Is there anything else we want to do before we start drilling? Do we want to mow? I don't think we do. Oh, we're down to 100 pounds. Oh. All right, here we go. So I uninstalled it, but I was looking for an alternative to it because I noticed that my headset now has gone back to the default rainbow breathing lights, and everything else, literally every other peripheral I have, has a very dim red light. Set everything to like dim red. I like that. So I reached out to Razor customer support and asked, is there a way to just install Chroma? New seeder, a new plow pack also. Is that for 17 or 19? Somebody else mentioned that earlier. I want to check that out. All right. Let's try this on course play first. This is base game kit, so... All right, here we go. And then I'll rant a little bit more about Razor. So we're going to do fertilizing and seeding. For 17, right on. Thanks, Taro. I will definitely check that out. Big fan of his stuff. We want to... where do we want to go? What are we looking for here? No course loaded. We got a generator course. I've completely blanked on like how we generate a course. So we go to here. Don't want that. That's the one. Yeah, completely spaced how we go about doing that. All right. So we want field 100, 3 meters starting location right here. Starting direction automatic, return to first point. Headland, yes, this thing is narrow. We've got a little grass verge, so we've got a bit of room to turn. Let's say we go 2, and we'll do that after. No islands. Single tool. Generate me a course. How we looking? Could be worse. Oh, and our start point is like right here. Okay. So if we go here now, let's set some speeds. Field speed. We'll make this 5 miles per hour. I think that's about right. Drive control settings. We want this 4-wheel drive always, and both diffs on for Fieldwork. So on. Turn those off. I think we're about ready. We'll go to... We're going to turn that off. First waypoint. Here we go. It's right around in here somewhere. So oh, don't hit the wall. Let's see if this thing can even make it up the field. Fingers crossed. Here we go. Turn that off. Oh, hang on. It's always something. Always forgetting something. Canola. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if we seeded this entire field wrong? Canola, get to work, son. So we will confirm that we are putting in canola. Yeah, we got just a little bit of embarrassing wheat right there. That happens. And I didn't hear any of the beeping for proceed. So I think we're okay. This is not going to randomly put in any tram lines, but we'll keep... unless... What it's doing here, that's not doing it here. Hang on. Proceed is... activate Proceed HUD keypad 7. Keypad 7. That is keypad 7. Maybe because it's on a worker. But that's not... Am I seeing that right or wrong? Is that putting in tram lines already? You know, before we get any deeper in this, let's be smart here. For some reason, there we go. For some reason, it wasn't stopping. All right, keypad 7. Manual, and they are off. Okay. I don't know. We'll take a look. I'm not entirely convinced. But, okay. So what we need to do then is we got to break the immersion a little bit. So we're going to come back here. I could swear there are tram lines in there. I mean, it says manual and they are turned off. I don't know. That looks wrong. I'm going to start this again. I am. I think it's worth it because it looks like... Man, I can't even tell. I don't know if that's just a feature of like the texture, the custom texture, but it certainly looks like there are trim lines there. Just do it again. I'd rather do that than have it, you know, go berserk on me halfway across the field. All right, back here. Once again. But hey, at least we know we can get up the field. All right, so if we go here. No course loaded. What? Go back here. Once again. So we're going to go here. Field 100. This is all the same. This is all the same. Generate me a course. Same place. Same place. Yep, everything's the same. Okay. Go back here. First waypoint deactivated. Drive course. Turn these off. Let's see if this looks any different. I think it may be just the way that it's kind of switching back and forth through the multi-terrain angle. It's a little different. All right, well, I'm gonna have some water, and then we need to figure out what to do next. Because we've only been going for just over an hour, and I feel like there's still, I don't know, there's gotta be something to do. Is the course play estimate when I looked in cab? We gotta throw some money in here, hang on. Borrow another $5 grand. 260. Our loan is creeping up to max. So it said, I want to say course play had an hour on the estimate. Here. Hour and 14 minutes. Yeah, I don't just want to watch this thing for an hour and 14 minutes. This field, field 9-5, has, oh, right on, Fried. Yeah, I hopped on last night. I haven't been on in quite a while, but I hopped on. It's a cool game. It is. It's different. It's kind of a shooting game, but it's kind of Assassin's Creed. I do like it, though. I think it's well done. And they fixed it with Gear V2 or Gear 2.0 or whatever they're calling it. All right, what else can we do? I mean, I'll keep the stream going as long as you want. It's just a stream where we're watching course play. I don't know. I feel like we could do a little better than that. As far as what we could do with the farm, the only thing we can do in any field, in either field, is going to cost us money. So if we were to bump the loan to lease a tractor and a mower for field 9-5, would what we got out of field 9-5 be worth it? Right, with the amount of grass that's in there. Because what would we do with it? We could make silage bales? I mean, I guess we could just make silage. Just clamp it and take it down to the BGA. We don't have a trailer. So we'd end up spending, I'd say, between $10,000 and $20,000 for this field, between leasing the tractor leasing the mowers. A rake. And we could make food from it. We could make hay bales and silage bales, and that would be food we wouldn't have to buy. Do that. I don't know. What do you think? Because this is, like, what we're seeing right here, that's just going to be going on for the duration. That'll probably be happening for the rest of the stream. Sir. All right. So what are you thinking? Do we want to bump the loan just to keep things moving forward, or just watch the 5600 drill? Mowers would be, so this is a swathing mower here. $4 grand for that one. Yeah, $5 grand to rent mowers. I'm gonna go with this one, but then we need a rake. $1,200 to rent that, and then a rake would be a small one, something like that. 25. Yeah, I feel like there's no difference between leasing a swathing mower and leasing a non-swathing mower and a rake. Tedder, something like that, and a tractor for all of those. So here, I don't know, base game, something like that. 10 grand. Yeah, call it 20,000 if we wanted to. 20,000 if we wanted to bring this grass in straight away. No, I don't know. You know what I could do? Oh no, I couldn't do that. I don't have it installed on this machine. I was thinking I could stream something else, but yeah, I don't know. I'm serious. What are your thoughts? Because like what we're seeing right now, this is it. This is all we can do at the moment without spending a lot of money. It is first harvest stage. Gold, not orange. So right here. We're right down here. Field 9.5 is, yep. We won't get quite as much as if we wait for it to go second orange, but we could get it right now. It's just, what do we cost to get it out of the ground, and what would we do with it? We could make food. We could make hay and silage, and it would be that much less that we would have to spend buying. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe that's where we're at, because we will spend 20,000, but at this rate, we're spending 4,000 a day on buying those pallets. Go for the grass? Yeah. Yeah, the sound just popped in all of a sudden. Yeah, I think that may make sense, and it'll keep things moving. So if we do, here's what we could do. We could lease those swathing mowers. No reason to do that. We can lease a cheaper mower, right? And what's a fun tractor to lease? Let me see. Do we have a cool mod tractor? Let's lease a T-Dub. The old reliable. T-Dub 25. 150 horsepower. Let's bump that up. 186. Yeah. Oh, we don't have any money. Hang on. Let's make some money first. And when I say make money, I mean borrow money. Let's go 25. So we go here. T-Dub. Wheels doesn't matter. Don't need beacons. So we'll lease that. Right? And then we'll start with a mower. And I believe this is the CD models. 4D modding. That would be 1,200. Had a swathing mower, but it left bit too wide a swath. So you were going over it twice. Had to go back to pick up the dregs. I feel you. Oh, this is 120. This is 100. We can use either one of these. That's 4.3. That's 3.8. It's a little bit wider. And it is MR. All right, let's lease this. And what we'll need to do is we'll need to, we won't swath anything. And I'm going to teleport. There's no way I'm going to run all the way down to the store. I wouldn't do that to you. So we'll go here. All right. So we're not, well, we can't now. We didn't get a swathing mower. We're not going to swath anything. And then we're going to come back and we're going to hit half the field with a tedder and the other half without. All right? And then we'll rake and then we'll bale. The half that we hit with the tedder, obviously, will make hay bales. And the half that we did not will be our silage bales. So we're not going to sell anything from this process. We just won't have to buy nearly as much food. All right. Got a little bounce there. Some failure in mod. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a modder, but I wonder if that's a value that you could adjust somewhere. We're good coming out of here. Yep, we're good. I wonder if that's a value you could adjust to just make the swath narrower. I wonder sometimes about this game because it seems like there are mass values and then there are visual values, and they're not necessarily linked. So I think you can have an extremely dense swath, or you can have a ton of mass in it, but visually it's not very big. And I remember the Big M when it was first ported over to 17 from 15. If you unfolded the swather on the mowers, it was like it was retaining all the grass that you had mowed, and if you unfolded the gates on the mowers, it would dump all that grass underneath you. And suddenly your Big M would be sitting atop a giant pyramid of grass, big as an office building. Oh, good times. Yeah, we'll get this mowed, and we'll do... okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the rake first. I'm going to get the rake first. I'm going to rake the headlands and rake half the field and make some room. Then we're going to get a wrapping baler and get those bales wrapped and out of the way. And then we'll use the tedder on what's left, so we're not mixing two different fill types together. Right, so we got enough room to work. Because if we ted half the field out to the edge of the field, and then rake it, it's going to be all swirled together, you know, at those points where it like transitions over. So let's get all the grass raked and baled, or all the grass that we're going to make into silage bales. We'll get that all raked and baled and off the field, and then everything that's left will be our hay. And it is, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, but in seasons in 17, hay is immediate, is it not? It doesn't have to cook, like in 19. Yep, I think it'll be available straight away. And we can also, if we get rid of this, I think we can see 72% proceed. Okay. I've got, it's either Glance, I don't know, it's one of the info mods, shows in the top left corner. I'm gonna go third person here. see. Yeah, I think a little bit longer than an hour. I think more like 2 hours for that field. And it's used about a quarter of its seed. So at some point, I'll put it over. I'll swap the worker over to buying, because I don't feel like driving down to the store over and over again to refill that thing. Trying to play realistically, but you know what? It's just a game. I'm not gonna get hung up on it. Mostly, I just want to have fun, make a good stream. Here we go. Right here. And I think by cutting this a little bit earlier, we'll be able to get... I know we'll be able to get at least this cut plus one more, but I think by cutting it earlier, we may get a third cut as well. And I hope this is even... I know this is mowable, but I hope it's mowable. Fantastic. Here we go. Ed, it is not... Is it? Is that mowing? Can't even tell. Is that dropping a swath? Pull it, Bill. What are you doing with the texture? Yeah, let's slow this down a little bit. Yeah, I couldn't tell because we're running the Frontier Design textures, and they are very subtle. Could not tell if we were even cutting. I was using the mowers in cattle and crops. Felt like I was going a little bit too fast, and a farmer in chat told me, yeah, nope, go as fast as you can. We are always in a hurry. As fast as you can go without the thing clogging up. That's how fast you want to be going. Go right through those trees, as you do. Now this swath may get, well, it's not really a swath, but this may get a little bit fatter as we get into the double fertilized part of the field. We're sort of out on the grass verge right now. The meadow grass type versus the crop grass. So this may get, we'll pick up a little bit. No, it's really not, but it's something, and it'll keep things moving. Because other than that, yeah, I really would feel like we should probably end the stream. I try to be engaging, but I'm not that engaging. I can't keep the stream going for an hour with nothing going on. Here. Yeah, this feels like it's holding a little better. Descending. Better than the 5600 was. I assume we're cutting. It is really discreet how low that is. Right across here. Right about like that. Could have gone a little tighter around there and gone further out into the corner, but so it goes. And I do like the sound on this tractor. And this is from the 17 mod contest. So now, what's the technique here? So we want to go the other way now so that we're driving on what we already cut instead of crushing the new stuff. I always wonder what the appropriate technique is here. My struggle with logging is the same as my struggle with pallets and bales. I mean, I'm sort of not super into logging. Let's just go this way. I'm sort of not super into logging to begin with. I'd rather farm in a farm sim, but what I like about it is you can make so much money so quickly, and that's also the thing I don't like about it. Because I feel like, you know, if you're willing to... So what we could have done is taken our 200 grand. Almost 400 grand. Because, yeah, we sold the building for 200, and then we bumped the loan for 250, so call it 400,000. We could have just bought a piece of land with trees on it and leased some logging equipment and made that money back in 1 or 2 sessions. And that's the thing that I don't like about logging is if you're willing to just grind a little bit early game, you can make so much money. It's sort of like the gold nuggets. All right, Fred. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. It's sort of like the gold nuggets where I intentionally don't look for any of them and I don't pick them up when I see them. Because once you picked up 10, oh wow, we missed that whole stripe. Hang on, let's fix this now. My OCD is triggered. Once you've stumbled over, no, we didn't miss it. Did we? No, we didn't miss it. It's just got a different texture. It may be the edge of the field and the transition from the meadow grass to the crop grass. Okay. Once you've come across 10 gold nuggets, the other 90 show up and just kind of clutter up your mini-map. And I figure if I wanted a free million, I'll just put it into the XML. And then it got to the point where it's like, well, if I'm going to put it into the XML while I'm there, why don't I just delete the gold nuggets? So I feel like with logging, it's not quite free money, but it's in the neighborhood. And if I'm going to do something that I don't like just to make money, then I'd rather just edit it into the XML. And it's not, logging's not bad. It's not there's anything wrong with it. It's just not something I'm personally into. Yeah, I mean, I've watched streamers and YouTubers that's all they do, and it's amazingly efficient. It's multiplayer. They've got one person felling trees and limbing them. They've got one person loading up trailers with a crane, and then somebody else just pulls up with a tractor trailer, unhooks, hooks up to a loaded trailer, takes off, takes them to the mill. It's amazing to watch. It's just not personally for me. And I feel like when I do it, it's so grindy, but then you come out of it with all that money. So it's a moral hazard for me. Wait a minute, for wool, we don't have any wool. It's a moral hazard because I think, well, if I'm going to do that, like I said, why don't I just edit the money in and pretend I was logging? Not paying crazy amounts? Ah, that's how they get you. Yeah, I think this could be the most challenging save game I've ever been a part of. Because for one thing, it is a live stream. Oh, before I forget, the end of this row, before I forget, I try to get in the habit of doing this every time. Down there. It's here. Something like that. And I do think the devs have really made an effort to make the economy more challenging and more realistic. Because I know back in the day you could cut a tree with a chainsaw and push it into the pond with a leased tractor and get 40 grand. You know, do that 10 times and you're off to a pretty good start on your new farm. Lift that, set the brake, and I want to go here and just pause on the finance screen just to keep everything 100% legit. not going to add any money to this map. I do that sometimes. I know we had a bit of an incident down at the store with the other trailer. Figured that cost us about 10 grand. You know, we could really use that 10 grand right now, but I don't want to start adding money, because once you do, it's like, well, I already added money once. You know, what's the harm if we do it a second time? So I try to stay out of that habit as carefully as possible, trying to make my lengths here. Now, here's another question I have for real farmers. Once I have enough room, my preferred way to do this is the Zamboni technique, right? Where we come straight back down the center of the field and then just make passes up, continuing to take the sides off without making any three-point turns. I feel like it's quicker and it's easier on the transmission because we're not constantly shifting back and forth. I don't know what the real technique is, or if it varies from place to place, or if it doesn't even matter and just do it however you want, right? Like every farmer does it differently in real life. It's really not that big a deal. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to set the brake. We're going to take a look over there, and they're at 45%. So let's let them get a little bit more empty, because it will be expensive to buy that canola seed, to have the hired worker buy it as they're working. Alright, so right over here somewhere, right about, let's see, right about here. Sure. So we'll drop this. Turn the lights off. Head back down the center of the field. Yeah, I had a feeling, Ernie. And I've seen I've seen that discussion in chat, on streams, on videos, and in Reddit, where somebody will say, you know, well, where I'm from, we haul a container out to the field and everybody just dumps into it. You know, I'm from this place. And somebody will say, well, I'm from that place. That's not how we do it. And then it's like, oh, yeah? Or are you from north that place or south that place? And it turns into this big dogmatic argument. And it's like, my takeaway from it is, okay, so you all do it your own way, is what I'm hearing. That two people in the same neighborhood could do it differently. You just do whatever you want. All right. So back up here. And once we get, so once we have that cut down the center, now I'll just keep taking the right side or the south side of these two halves off. Yeah, I would think so. I would think so, that if you have access to one piece of kit that somebody else doesn't have, of course you're going to have access to different options. The main thing I wonder about is the steps you need to take in real life to not damage the crop that you're harvesting. So right now we're driving on grass that we haven't cut yet because of crop destruction. If this grass was taller, we'd be crushing it. But then I've had people tell me in real life, yeah, it's just grass. It's just grass. You drive over it all you want, it just pops right back up. And these mowers have such a powerful sort of vacuum effect to lift the grass. It doesn't matter if you drove over it unless it's soaking wet. The mower's going to lift it and cut it anyway. Jaden, how you doing? Come on. Where's first gear at? There it is. So I think I get a little bit sometimes too hung up on a certain way of doing things. So we'll go right back down here. Yep. So I figure by doing this, we're deadheading less, but we're also avoiding all those turns. Rather than driving all the way across the top and bottom of the field, one side to the other. Yeah. And I wondered the same thing about planted fields. Because I was making just an absolute effort to never drive over an area that I had already planted or seeded. And a farmer told me, yeah, sometimes you have to, and it's not the end of the world. You try to avoid it, but it happens, and it doesn't completely destroy the seeds or the seed bed. They may not grow as well, but they'll still grow. And the same thing with pulling into a field to open it up. I was told it's just about impossible to get into a field without crushing a little bit of crop. But same thing, as long as you don't drive back and forth to do donuts on it, it'll just pop back up. All right, so we'll go back up here. I'd be driving counterclockwise for now. I think that's what I'm doing. Well, half and half, because then when we pass back down the center of the field, we're essentially going the other direction. Yeah. I don't know if it's worse to drive over grass that you haven't cut yet, or that you have cut. Or if it really doesn't matter. The main thing I'm trying to do, I don't know how clear it is in the street, but I can barely see what I've already cut. Barely. Oh. I think if we had let this field grow all the way to second harvest stage, it would be a lot easier to tell. But at the moment, oh, on the trees, at the moment it is very subtle. Okay. Well, with my Zamboni technique, we're doing half. So right now we're driving over stuff we've already cut, and then up the other side we'll drive over what we have not cut. Let me ask you something else, because you seem like a real farmer. Any type of industrial equipment that I've ever worked with has leaked a little bit. And I tend to think of agricultural equipment as it's just industrial equipment for a specific industrial purpose that involves growing things and harvesting things. But I wonder about how much oil and fuel and hydraulic fluid is leaking from a tractor. I know you would try to maintain them as well as possible to prevent that, but like right now, are we dripping hydraulic fluid onto animal food? And is that unavoidable and just something that you do your best to avoid, or is that something that they'll close you down if they find out that's happening on your farm? Is it like a really big deal, or is it just something that it's inevitable and you try to minimize it? Take this too. Nope, not that. Not that. That one. 29%, we're okay. Okay. Yeah, I've always wondered about that, because I do things like, I try to store my bales away from where the workshop is. In Farm Sim, I'm not a real farmer, but in Sim I try to do that, and I always try to keep bales above the level of my fuel bunker. So if there was a leak, there'd be no possibility of it like seeping down and contaminating bales. But I don't know how easy it is to avoid that sort of thing in real life. Try not to clip through the hedges. I know we're doing that a little bit. I'm making the effort. All right, here we go. And I think remember now. Well, we'll get a warning. If our 5600 starts running low on fuel, we'll get a warning. But I honestly can't remember because we've been driving back and forth so much, and we have been on 5x time. Couldn't remember if it was getting low on fuel. The game will tell us. Let's put it there. Oh, we can take a look here. So 5600 looks like it's maybe not quite half done, but it looks like it is making progress. So if they get done, I don't think they'll be done before we're done entirely, but if they get done, I don't know, maybe after we get done raking or something, what we may do is take that seeder down and return it so we're not paying any more rental fee on it. Rumble, what is happening? We'll take that seeder back down so we're not paying any more rental on it, and we'll use the 5600 to pick up a tedder, maybe something small, something it can handle. It doesn't have to run it, but it could at least haul it back to the farm. Right down here. Oh, easy. Yeah, it seems to hold a lot better on the hills. 21%. I'm gonna let that thing get down to like, I don't know, probably 4 or 5% before we switch it over to buying seed, just because we really don't have any money. And I think the only other expensive thing we'll need to rent, the rake won't be expensive, the tedder won't be expensive, and we've already got a UAL trailer, and we've already got a bale spike, so I think we'll be okay. And from here on out, we can save that $4,500 a day we've been spending on the big TMR pallets. Hang on, let me try to read here. Mowers, rakes, and tedders. Right on. I need to get over there as soon as I'm done. I heard he already released some stuff earlier today. Curious to take a look at it. Let's see how we're doing here. That reminds me. 17%. All right. Okay, no worries. I will definitely take a look. And I did, when I posted episode 1, I did link to Western Shore directly through Simply Safe in the description. I mean, yeah, I'd say the 5600 is making pretty good progress. We've been working this field for a minute. Definitely the way to go. These sprayer add-on to increase spraying speed. Interesting. %, still doing good. And we've still got probably half a dozen lengths there, half a dozen lengths here, and then maybe another half a dozen next to us. I didn't quite make it down the center of the field. So we may get done right about the same time as the 5600 does. I thought they would take a lot longer, but big field, small mower. Try to line this up a little better. There we go. And we'll need to figure out what we want to do as far as fertilizing this field. We'll have, I don't think we'll have enough manure and slurry for it to be worth it to lease the equipment. Because I don't think we'll have enough to even cover this field one time. So I think we'll have to go with pellet or liquid again this first year. And hopefully by next year we've got enough cows, because we want to expand the dairy at some point. We've got enough cows making enough manure and slurry that we can start spending a little bit less on pellet for, I would hope. 10%, all right, keep an eye on that. And I guess we could also do some contract jobs. I hadn't thought about that. When I first looked at the map and was trying to get a handle on the finances, I saw those jobs only pay like 1,000 or 1,200 pounds. And it seemed sort of pointless, but as broke as we are, that 1,000 pounds is starting to look a lot more important right now. So we can always do that. And that would give us an opportunity to use some other equipment without having to buy it or rent it. So that could be a possibility, just to make some quick money. All right. Stop this momentarily. Try to make it stop sliding backwards. There you go. And if we go here and here, and let's say bye. All right. The alternative would be we could stop this, hop into 5600, drive down to the store. I don't think we have a full pallet down there. We've got like a third of a pallet. And buy another pallet. We'll just automate it for now, save a little bit of time. It's gonna suck if we get like 7 bales out of this field. It's gonna be terrible. It's a big field. I think even with the reduced yield, I hope we have at least enough bales to keep the animals alive. And as far as a mixer, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to lease a mixer every day, but I don't necessarily want to buy one either. I don't know how low their productivity will go if we're feeding them hay and silage versus TMR. But I know leasing a mixer every day would probably negate any savings that we saw by not having to buy the TMR already made. But we'll take a look, see if we can figure it out. I mean, I don't want to like get a spreadsheet going or anything, but we can just kind of estimate. Because if we did, we wouldn't have to pay to lease it every morning, but if we bought a mixer, I think that would pretty much be it for our money. Because we're at 260 on the loan right now on a 300,000 pound cap. We've got 40,000 left. and we still need to lease a combine harvester and a trailer to bring that other field in. And we've got one more layer of fert to apply. So I think with our loan cap where it is right now, for 40,000, can we harvest that field? We can, but if we had to use that 40,000 to harvest that field, our loan would be maxed out. We would have nothing left for emergencies, and we would be paying crazy interest. But we'll take a look. And there may be a smaller, I know we've got the Keenan available on this map. I think there's a used one that is pretty affordable. Hired workers still working. Yeah. I'd say they're about 2/3 done, maybe a little bit more. They're getting down to that corner of the field where I think it's a lot of turns and very short lengths. So their efficiency may drop off a little bit, but what else can you do? Yep, they're still working away. Right on. Crumble, we're at Hatton. Not the far southeast corner. Hang on, let me pop a map open. Not the far southeast corner, but just north of there. So, let me turn grass off first. Stand by. Turn that off. We are right over here. Just north of southeast. Yeah, Bramble Lane was, I think that was perfect because it was so central to everything. It's your farm in sim or it's your farm in real life? Bramble Lane was really good. It was central to everything, but we had to... The map's so big and it's so good, I felt like it was really time to explore a little bit. Move away from the center part of the map. Your farm in Farm Sim? Right on. How good is this map in multiplayer? It seems like it would be really, really good. Really be able to see if there's a problem, but I do keep trying to look over and see how the 5600 is doing. Right on. You know, I've had a couple people ask about MP in stream, and I've told them to find me in Discord and we'll try to get it sorted out as far as maps and mods and various other things, and then I never hear from them again. So I feel like if anybody is interested enough to continue the discussion and want to get MP going, I'm happy to host a server. But I think if we do 17, this map would be the one. And I can't imagine what map would be better in terms of size and also how good it looks. And this is a 1x map, is it not? It's not 4x. It seems bigger than a regular map. Oh, we just crossed over the top of the hour and somehow lost another couple thousand. Oy. Yeah, I think there are people that just as strange as this is to say, I think there's some people that just go prowling around looking for MP servers they can get to be a part of so they can toss everything in the pond. I don't know why. I don't know why that's entertainment for people, but for some people it is. Okay, we just got our oil change warning for the 5600. So can it be? Oh, son of a! We're gonna have to break into the store. I am hearing things about winter. I'm hearing there's going to be some things popping up as well. That there's a lot of like seasonal add-ons that pop in only in the winter. All right, so what we're going to need to do with the 5600, right? So now it's a race, because what I want to do is get this field done before the 5600 is done, right? And then I'm going to put the mower on the 5600. I'm going to put the mower on the 5600 and take the mower down and return it. Then we need to break into the store. I'm not even kidding. We need to break into the store and steal some oil to do our oil change. And we can hop the fence and then throw the oil over the fence. Hey man, do what you got to do in this life. Because if we don't, the 5600 is done for today. We won't be able to put oil in it until the store opens tomorrow. So we're going to break into the store, steal oil, do an oil change on 5600, and pick up, I guess we'll pick up a tedder or a rake while we're down there. Bring that back with us. And then as quickly as possible, let me see, we'll have to return the T-dub as well, because our lease on this is going to be really expensive. So we'll let the 5600 finish the field. We will drive it down there. We'll drive it down there with the drill. We're done with that as well. We'll drive it down there with the drill. We'll return that, do an oil change, pick up a rake, and come back. And then we'll immediately take the T-dub down with the mower and return that, because we'll be done with that as well, both those, and pick up a tedder. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best plan. It's a plan. It'll have to do. It's the only plan we've got. And because we're kind of driving back and forth to get this last little bit right here, I'm just going to flip around and finish our little triangle here. And then we'll go over and finish that bit right there. And I think 5600, I know we'll be done today. I know we'll be done before sunset. But I think it'll be close to sunset. I also need to take a look how we're doing on milk. It may even be worth it. I won't do it on camera, but it may even be worth it to take another load of milk down, just so we have a little bit more money to last through the night. Because our, it's not likely that we'll be done with these bales tonight. And even if we are done with silage bales, they won't be fermented. And they won't be silage yet, they'll just be wrapped grass. So I don't think we're going to have any food ready for the dairy tonight. We're still going to have to buy another pallet of TMR. Right. It's going to be close. I really do wonder if we're going to be able to make money on this. And we're not running bank and pocket stock. So if we can't make money, or if we don't make money, there's no way we can sell fields. I mean, all we could do is sell the 5600 and then lease tractors. But at a certain point, you're throwing money away, because we would need the 5600 every single day. We would need it to feed the animals. We'd need it to muck out. We'd need it to take milk down there. If we get a mixer, we need it to run a mixer. So we'd basically be leasing it all day, every day. And at that point, we'll just keep the one that we already own. But we don't have anything else to sell. We can sell cows, but then we don't have anything to make money with. I think we can do it, but it is definitely going to be it's definitely going to be tricky to make money on this map. Rough start. I don't remember it being that rough a start before, unless I think maybe I just added in 1 million pounds when we started last time, which sounds ridiculous, right? I mean, it sounds like a crazy big amount of money, but if you play this game, you know how quickly a million goes. And I wouldn't say that you have nothing to show for it, but it's not like you have some lavishly kitted farm and, you know, a dozen fields and everything else. I think most maps that I play that start you with equipment, if you sell it all, and you're taking a little bit of a loss, and what you get for selling a piece of equipment is not what it would cost to buy it again new, but most maps, when you sell everything, you end up with between, I don't know, 600, 700,000 and maybe a million, 1.5. So all the equipment for an entire farm it's a decent amount of money just for basic equipment, relatively small stuff. Let's do something here, take a look. No, Ernie, really does not. Let me see, I want to go here and see how... they're doing. I say 2/3 done, 3/4 done. I mean, they've just got that little corner down there, but it is a lot of turns. So, okay. Well, nothing else we can do. Let's just keep working here. And drop the boa. It works better when you drop it. Go, full drive. I was just told when possible you want to stay on the grass you have not cut yet. So when we get down to the bottom of this length, we're going to flip around and immediately come back up this side, and we're going to try to stay on the grass that we have not cut yet until this field is done. But this is narrow enough. Same thing. I don't know why those 3-point turns bother me. I just feel like it would be really rough on the transmission. But we'll knock this little bit out. 37 minutes on the 5600. And yeah, let's make this a little bit. One more pass across the bottom here. So we have a little bit more room to turn. Across there. Beautiful. All right. And this is maybe another 15 minutes. Alright, drop that. Here we go. I do think we're going to take the Ford down and return it and the mower before the 5600 is done, but it's the same whether we do one first or the other. It doesn't really matter. Just get everything back to the store as soon as possible to save the rental fees. Is there... I don't think there is. I was trying to think of a way we could tow the trailer down there and throw a pallet of TMR on it, but I feel like there's no way to do everything. Now in real life, I think you would put the mower on the trailer, put it up on top of the trailer and haul it down there. But not only do we not have anything to lift it with, but it's not really a mechanic in game, which is always wondered why that's not a thing. Because you do carry equipment on flatbeds in real life. FS Levin on PC. What's happening? Man, how you doing? I'm going to start a GoFundMe to fix your cap locks key. What's going on with that? All right. Yeah, I mean, they have their uses, and people play on what they can play on. You know, in my perfect world, I'd have multiple systems. I'd have 8th gen consoles and everything else. All right. Here. There's just too many titles that I can only find on PC. I've thought about an Xbox though, just for Forza. You have a Wii. My goodness. Yep, I think this will go quick. I'm tempted, Ernie. I'm very much tempted by the new Xbox. Mike, that's interesting. There it goes. We were on cruise control at 10 mph instead of 6. I'm tempted by the new Xbox. The only problem is I feel like I would need to get a great big 4K TV to go with it. And then that leads to like this whole cascade of purchases. Right? Like I would want to get a nice gaming couch. Right? Now I got to get a coffee table. Now I got to get a throw rug and end tables and lamps. I need to get a sound bar, surround sound. So my Xbox is going to end up costing me like $14,000. I don't want that. I don't want to do that. Everything just leads to something else. It's amazing. I think that is my least favorite part of adulting. Everything leads to something else and it always costs you money. So right down here. That corner's a little, it's a little tricky. All right, thanks, brother. That last one, I don't know. Nightbot didn't like that. Thanks for the sub, my friend. I appreciate it. Take a look at our guy here. Yep, they're down in that little corner. I mean, it's still going to be close because they don't have very much to do, but they've got a lot of turns. I feel like we've got less turns but longer lengths. Man, if I had laid those courses in, you know what I'm saying? We could just send this thing on its way. We can put the T-Dub on course play down to the store and drive the 5600 down, or put a boat on course play down to the store, and I can make myself a gin and tonic. All right, that's an even better plan. I like that one. And I wouldn't say I just realized, but I did just think we need to fertilize this field as well as soon as possible, today or tomorrow, before it starts to grow again. But that's like another 2,000 or 3,000. Back up. I'm gonna take another little headwind off the top here. Just give us a little bit more room. This corner, the far corner, is really tricky to get turned around there. This is not what I thought we'd be doing this stream, but I think it's all working out. Clockwise. All right. Now, I thought you said earlier that I would try to stay on grass that was not cut as much as possible. So I was going counterclockwise so that we would be mostly on grass that we had not cut. I don't know. I want to do it the right way. I want to do it the most accurate way possible. I know we could do. Could we? Could we? No, I don't think there is. Grass that had been cut. Damn it, man. Okay. Hang on. Moment, please. While we pull a 180. I read that wrong. All right, let's get turned around here. I was trying to think of a way that we could bring the oil back up. Oh, no worries. It's just pixels. I was trying to think of a way that we could bring the oil back up from the store, but I think the only way to do that would be we'd have to hand carry it. I've seen people like balance little hand items like that. I've seen them like balance them on their lap in the tractor, or like I see the door open and put it in the cup rest. There you go. Yeah, see, that's what I was doing all along. It just didn't look like it. Had the camera at a funny angle. I've seen people carry small items in tractors, but it's more of a meme, you know. I don't think there's any approved technique. But we wouldn't be driving a tractor back up here anyway. So I think we're going to have to drive... Well, we have to drive the 5600 down to drop off the drill. So we'll just do the oil change then, but the store is closed, so we will have to break in. It sounds like my summer car. It's not anything that interesting. We just buy it. It shows up in the parking lot and we throw it over the fence. It's not, you know, we're not actually causing any mayhem or deviltry. Man, I always wonder, because I know there's like, the way that people mod games like Arma, and because DayZ was an Arma mod originally, was it not? I want to say that it was. And Postscriptum is just a squad mod? Yeah. You know what I mean? There's games that are like, right, like Los Santos PD. There are people that really go buck wild. I wonder if you could somehow fuse My Summer Car and Farm Sim and bring some of the My Summer Car elements into Farm Sim. Now here's me saying, I don't like logging because I only like farm activities when I'm in Farm Sim, and now I want My Summer Car. But that would be, right? So instead of just buying something at the store and throwing it over the fence, you actually do have to like break into the store. You gotta crawl up on the roof, right? And like rip the screen off the window. Probably not the best idea I've ever had. Here. Let's take a look at 5600. Yeah, it's well down in that little corner. And I think the grass verge is smaller down there, so it's possible, if it's going to get hung up on a tree or a fence post or something, if it were going to happen anywhere, it would happen down in that little corner. So it's possible by the time we get back from the store, it's caught on something. It's not inevitable, but if it happened that way, I would not be surprised. That's here. Our triangle's not too bad. Anytime I'm in an irregularly shaped field, it doesn't have to be triangle shaped. It could be bean shaped, kidney shaped, doesn't matter. I always end up with a little triangle at the end. I feel like this triangle's not going to be as bad as some. And I'm really curious what our yield is. And we had 2 layers of fert on this field. Now with seasons, we'll have 3 next cut because it always keeps 1. So we'll apply 1 immediately and then a second one when it starts to grow. And then we will let it grow all the way. So we should have a much better yield next time. All right, we're red on the oil change now. I don't want to run a can of oil all the way up here to the store. We could, what could we do? We could lease a tiny trailer, put TMR and oil on it, and bring it up here. Is that even worth it? All right. Yeah, we'll have a little triangle, not too bad. 22 minutes. Oh, it's a race. Is the 5600 going to be done? It's going to be done, and also we need about 5 minutes to get down to the store. So is it going to be done with that field in the next 17 minutes? And give us enough time to drive down there? We're down to our last 1,000 pounds. I'm going to say this is one of the more intense starts to a save game that I've had in Farm Sim. In a good way, but it's not as relaxing as it has been in other save games. Here we go. Saint, how you doing, my friend? I'm fantastic. I'm having an almost perfect Tuesday, except my Steelers lost to the Bengals. I don't want to talk about that. But other than that, I'm having a perfect Tuesday. How's your day going? What's happening? This has been, I don't know, it's been tricky to see. I don't think I've missed a ton. I think maybe a couple little bits here and there, but for the most part, I think we've been able to get just about everything. Another fantastic day at the office. I've been working as a contractor. I've been working from home for so long that the idea of being in an office is, I can remember it, but it's a hazy memory. It's been a long time. I think we can make this in one turn. Yep. 19 minutes, so that works out to 14 minutes. The office is filled with broken trucks. you a mechanic as well? Or do you mean something else? Is broken trucks, is that a euphemism for something? Here. Mechanic, right on. How much does that thing have left? I mean, it's really down in the corner. So it's just going to be all turns now. Like minimal length and mostly just turns. I don't know if it's going to be done before the oil changes too. What are the odds that I've got 2 diesel mechanics in one chat? I love it. No, I haven't had a chance to yet. I've got 19 uninstalled at the moment. Oh wait, you said there's 17 trailers. Wait a minute. I did see the link, but I haven't had a chance to try them yet. Three heavy wheel mechanics. All right. We are covered during the apocalypse. 17? Right on. I will, let me make a note to myself here. I will take a look at those as soon as I'm done. Yep, we are covered in the apocalypse. We are riding in style. Mad Max all day. Right on. I do appreciate the link, though. I know when people send me things, I really make an effort to take a look at it. All right. That's just about it. 1 pass, maybe 2. We are done. Okay. $16 minutes, so 5 minutes drive time. That's 11 minutes. We'll pull over there and take a look as soon as we're done. I'm really curious how much is left. On the map, it looks like really not a lot. It's way down in the corner. Oh, but it's still got headlands. It's still got 2 headland passes. Oh, how do we want to do this? We can do the headland passes manually. All right, I forgot about that. Those headland passes are going to take that big field. That's probably going to take 10 minutes just by itself, and it's not even done with lengths yet. There you go. Where's our, what? Oh, it's over here. Hang on. Never mind. I passed it. Hang on. We can turn around. These textures are really tricky. I'm not complaining. They're beautiful textures, but it's really hard to see. All right. Just needed to go exploring a little bit. We'll find it. Yeah. I'm starting to put together the outline of a New Year's Eve stream, and I think what I might do is I might try to go 6 hours, and I might spend 30 minutes each on 1 game per month from 2020 in my library, and that would be either good or bad. Right? So first 30 minutes would be January of 2020. I don't know. I would probably want to start that about, what would that be, 7 p.m. About 7 p.m. UK EU time. I mean, I know it's not quite exactly the same, but thereabouts. So I finish up right about midnight, because I feel like somehow, was there one little bit left here? Right there. I feel like somehow, and there is your ASMR moment. Somehow most people in the stream ended up from Europe and EU countries, which is super cool. But if we were going to do a New Year's Eve stream, I would want to time it for you. I'm not opposed to timing it for people in the US. I just feel like there aren't nearly as many of them. So I'm definitely thinking about it. Doing a 6-hour stream and trying to sort of recap the year. What the entire year was like, for me anyway, for sim gaming. Alright, so I'm going to pull out 13 minutes. Alright, oh god. Alright, so it's going to be your breakfast stream. Alright, so very carefully pull down through here. Oh, internet. Is there anything you can't make difficult? Right down through here. We got a barn full of poo, too. We've been on 5x time all day. Alright, we're going to pull this up right here. We're going to set the brake. Leave it running, because it's been working hard. Let that cool down properly. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But it seems like, yeah, Germany, Belgium, somewhere else. Denmark? Oh, look at that. So this, it's done with lengths. I'm pretty sure this is just the two. Oh, there's a little wide spot right here. So it's got to do a couple more lengths right here. All right, you know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do. Exactly. Can we run back from the store in 7 minutes? Oh, game. All right, we're going to go down here. Right? Going to break into the store. The store's still open. Is it open till 6 now? What? It would. Oh, speaking of, let me have some water. Pressure's on, though. We got to get this oil up there. Yep, you're right. I think it opens at 8 and closes at 6. All right, pallets. And this is the only thing we can carry. Well, I mean, we can carry anything because we're super, super strong. But I only like to use my super strength off camera. Save game. All right, yeah, there's the other one from the last time. That's only got 2 liters in it. Not enough for an oil change. All right, here we go. This is such a ridiculous game, the way that we play it. I can't believe people play this game and have fun. Fun? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you want to make it extremely complicated? Unnecessarily realistic. Carrying a jug of oil a mile to the farm. 11 minutes. We can do this. Yeah, you might not have been able to tell, but I did just look over my shoulder to see if I was fixing to run in front of a car. All right. So, I think the T-dub will have turned off that proximity system where if you go too far from a vehicle with the engine running, it'll turn off. I think. But with some of the mods that we're running, it may stay on. But we will hop in the T-dub after we do the oil change. Yeah, speed cameras. I am super fast right now. So we will drive the T-dub down. We'll drop off the mower. Totally blanked on what that thing is called. What's that thing that cuts the grass? We'll drop the mower off, and then we'll return the tractor. Yeah, I've done it the other way as well. I've dropped the tractor off first, and now there is an implement sitting too far from the trigger to be returned, and I have to lease another tractor, drive it around, pick up the implement, pull it into the trigger, return it, and then return the tractor. Yeah, I've done that. So we'll return those two. We'll let the 5600 complete their headlands. And then we can, let me see, that'll be, we're at 2.5 hours right now. I don't mind bringing something back up. We'd bring up the rake first. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't know if the 5600 is powerful enough to run a baler. We could probably do a base game round baler, but then we would have to do a wrapper separately. Yeah. Yeah. So we could run the baler with the T-dub. But I don't want to keep the lease going because we're going to spend too much money. All right, let's think about that. We've got a minute to think about that. But let's decide what we want to do. Down to 420 pounds. So we're going to have to bump the loan again. Yep. All right. This grass may have been a mistake. But, I mean, not really. No, I take that back. It's not a mistake because we would have needed to spend the same amount regardless. All that would have happened is we would have sold some milk between now and then. And it would have offset the cost a little bit. But no, the grass was not a mistake. Where's our field? Right here. And where is... Sir? Sir? Where's 5,600? Let's just let it go till it stops, because it may... Sir? It may finish these headlands. 8 minutes? Let's... I can't believe I'm running around a video game carrying a jug of oil. This is what it's come to. Let's put this right here. Carefully. This has a very My Summer Car feel to it right now. Set that down. Alright. Let's see what... What are those? What are all those little... Oh, those are seated. They're just... they look like they're turned the other way. Alright. 7 minutes. Let's see what Courseplay has to say. Caden, what is happening? Let's see what Courseplay has to say for time. So we'll open this up. 10 minutes. Yeah, it's not quite going to be done. How about this? When we go past the oil at the bottom of the hill, we'll stop, we'll do the oil change, and then we will put it back on Courseplay for the last headland. It'll stop when it's done, and while that's doing its thing, we can hop in the T-dub. But let's also take a minute now to think about how we want to do this, because if we go here, balers. So we can run this base game on 70 horsepower. What's the least horsepower for a wrapper? It's this one at 140, and our 5600 is 130. Okay, so that's out. We can't use that one. And I definitely don't think we can use any of the... Oh, God. I don't think we could use any of those. We couldn't afford to rent that either. What would the lease be on that? 20 grand. Yeah, not happening. Not happening. There's the Krone Ultima. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll have to lease the small round baler. Either this one or the base game. Yeah. Base game is 4 grand to lease. Oh. And this one is 5 grand to lease. Okay, and then we've got this little, either one of these little McHale wrappers. One of which is like twice the expense. So we'll go with this one. Okay. So that's that part. And then, what was the other thing we were wondering about? I don't remember. I think the 5600 will be able to run the rake, the baler, the rake, the tedder, and the baler. Reverse all those. Tedder first, then the rake, then the baler, and the wrapper. Alright, so we'll stop this thing at the entrance to the field. Do the oil change. And then we'll have this thing continue. We'll take the T-dub down there. Really? Alright, I'm going to take a look at that. So you have to put them in with like a front loader? You can't back up to them? So we're going to stop this right here. I'm going to lift that, turn it off, and the way that this works... Nothing wrong with the mod. It's just the way it works is we need to drop our drill, drop our weight, back this thing up a little bit, right about there, set the brake, 4 minutes. Oh, the timing. Yep, I will take a look. I appreciate the heads up because I would have I would have just gone with that. If that's the wrong one, come on. Give me the hand. Did I drop this in the trigger for the gate? There we go. All right, moment of panic. All right, so we set that right there. And then Control T, left Control T, done. Move this, you know what, straight away. Let's be a good farmer, because if I put it anywhere over here, I'm going to forget about it. And it's just going to be cluttering things up. So let me do this right now before I forget. The T-dub did turn off at some point, so that works. And put this right over here. It's a good place to store this. It's right about there. That's fine. And we'll need DEF at some point for the 5600 as well. We'll buy the T-dub later in this save game, and it will not require DEF. It's too old, but the 5600 will have to get some. All right. It's not a bad looking little tractor. I do like it. It's a great mod too. All right. So we back this thing up. Brakes off. Did we not just start it? There we go. So I'll put the weight on first. About there. Grab this thing. About like so. Right, and now this is always very tricky for me. So if we go here and here, we want like closest waypoint. May take a couple tries to get this right. So we want nearest waypoint, current waypoint. I don't know. It typically goes haywire when I try to do this, but we'll give it a try. Here we go. Is that tracking? All right. Got it on the first try. So that is done now. All right. Let's take a look at this thing. So if we go here and all the way over this thing, can't pivot it. We're not in 19. Yeah, you're right. Looking at it. Yeah. All right. That's a great tip, because I would have gone with that one. But then this one, yeah, that's offset, so we can kick it over to the side. Yeah, Saint, I added that myself. Want to hear something funny? I don't know how I did it. I don't remember what I did. I know I downloaded the sounds from somewhere, and then I just swapped all the names over to the ones that were already in the mod, so that when I put the new sounds in, it overwrote the old files, but then it went looking for them in the same place. So, yeah. I guess I did that, but it's one of this. It was like a fugue state. I did it, but I don't know how I did it. All right, let's get this thing returned, and we have, oh, the store just closed. But the, turn the four-wheel drive off, there we go. But the return counter is still open. 5600 is slipping. Is that caught on something? Let's take a look. Pull this in here off the road. I mean, it's the Bone Crusher mod. The Forbidden Mods Bone Crusher. And what I could do is just, I don't know, throw the sound folder up on Google Docs. Up on Drive. Is that fair? That way I'm not like trading a pirated mod. Well, it's not really pirated. It's edited. Oh dear, 5600. You were doing so good. You know what I mean? I don't want to trade an edited mod, but if you download the base mod, then I can just give you my edit. Does that even matter at that point? Is that like the same thing? You see what I'm getting at. Yeah. Alright, it just didn't want to make that turn. Four-wheel drive on. And right up here. Oh, we gotta lift that. Interesting. Alright, so up here. This is a fairly ugly corner of the map. What we've done to this field. So we drop this. Clean up that little bit right there. And then go out here. And then current waypoint. Yeah, this is what it always does to me. Do we have an offset? What's going on here? Nope, there's no offset. What? Jesus, what is that about? Oh, okay. Right on. Current waypoint. I mean, is that not the current waypoint? Why is it driving over there? Next closest waypoint? That's better. Alright. So turn this off. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yeah, what was that? I mean, after what happened with the hired worker on Purbeck, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? They're out to get me. All right. Well, what I can do then is I will DM you with the just the sound files themselves, and you take it from there. Because I honestly cannot remember where I got them. It's over a year ago that I put those in there. All right. So we'll break off. And then back out here. Here we go. Yeah, I just try to be super, super mindful of modders. And I don't know. I think it's... I know it's too easy for me to forget, you know, and just... I don't know. Get a little too comfortable. Maybe that's a good word for it. And forget that that's somebody else's work. So I really try to be mindful of that. And is there anything? I don't think there's anything else we can bring up. We'll teleport back to the farm and grab the 5600, bring that down, drop off the cedar. Yeah, and you know what? That'll have to be the end of the episode because the store's not open. So we can't pick up the rake or the tedder yet anyway. So yeah, that'll be a perfect place to end. We're coming up on 3 hours. So the timing is perfect. And we'll pick up next episode. We'll pick up with raking half that field. We'll rake the headlands in and rake half the field, and we'll bale those, wrap them, and call that our silage. And then we'll ted what's left. You say ted? You say tedder. We'll get the rest of that turned into hay. Rake that, bale it, and we'll put those hay bales up as well. That might be the entire next episode, because again, we won't have anything else to do. The canola won't be ready yet. I guess we could fertilize the field after we get done getting all the grass off it. Hang on, I just saw something big come in. We'll wait till I get down to the store to read it. I'll read it now, hang on. The locals know me here. Yeah, it's... I mean, I get so conflicted about it, because on the one hand, I think if you release a mod in this era, you have to know, even if it's payware, you have to know that within, I don't know, 45 seconds, somebody is going to put it up on a torrent site or share mods or someplace. And that's just the way it works. You have to expect that. But that's sort of like saying that musicians have to expect that everything they spend years producing is just going to be made available for free. It's a fact, but it's kind of a really rotten fact. So, you know, it's not right, but when modders get really upset by that, it's like, well, come on, did you not expect that? So I'm right in the middle on it, because on the one hand, it's, as I said, you know, you have to expect that, and on the other hand, it's like, well, you shouldn't have to expect that. That's not right. That's not fair. But that's just the way it is. So I try to do my part to, I don't know, always stay on the right side of that. Probably overly cautious. All right, so we'll drop the implement off first. Wait. That's right, we can't lower this thing without unfolding it, so we'll just drop it. What is happening right now? Just stop. I just want to drop it. There you go. Yeah, you're right. And it's, let me make sure this gets taken first. Yep. And it's, I mean, I know there are people and corporations that have figured out, you know, that is what people do, and they've just adapted their business model and they make money from it still, just in a different way. You know, artists that give away their music and use it as an advertisement for the concert tour that you have to pay $200 for the ticket. Can't fake that. Can't download that. So they found a way to flip it. Hang on, that's okay. They found a way to flip it and make money, and you know, I appreciate that, but at the same time, I never want to contribute to the problem, even as I recognize that it's just the way it is. That's the world. All right, I think we're going to call it right there. We got some good work done today. We got that entire field mowed, right? We got this whole field mowed very slowly, and we got this whole field seeded. Everything got done just about at the same time. I appreciate the tips on how we should proceed in the episode, and also IDI, if you're still here, thanks for the tip on that wrapper, because I would have got that wrapper and got it all the way up here and then realized, you know what I'm saying? Wasted time and wasted money, and I don't like either of those things. So I appreciate all your help today. We will let me see, let's do X-Plane tomorrow. Let's fly from Amsterdam to Copenhagen, and then Thursday we'll be back on the farm, and we will fertilize this field a third time, and we will get started getting this grass in. And I think it's not supposed to rain. Did I see that properly? Yep. It's not supposed to rain till Friday. So tomorrow, Thursday, it's going to be clear all day, so we don't need to worry about losing any grass. So Thursday, in real time, in the real world, we'll get this brought in. And I'm thinking about doing a Christmas stream. I don't know what your plans are. It's not going to be a Christmas themed stream, but I know I'm going to be by myself this year. My people are away, and if anybody else is going to be spending Christmas maybe not the way they want to, I thought maybe we could, you know what I'm saying? Maybe kind of lend a hand. You know what I'm saying. We don't need to be specific about it, but I'm thinking about that for Christmas Eve. So if that's something that would interest you, DM me, let me know. I don't have any problem doing it. And other than that, I'll see you tomorrow for X-Plane. Right on. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you. Good night.